I thought it was a great game. I thought both teams played the game at a high level. Really impressed with, how they defend, how well they stay connected, and really impressed with coming down the stretch, how well they were able to, make plays, in the last 4 minutes of the basketball game. I studied them a lot, and that's been the one common theme that I've seen coming down the stretch. They find the way to make plays that they need to make, not just scoring the ball. They're talking about stops, rebounds, turning you over. Seeing it on tape was one thing, but actually playing against it and feeling that out there is something different. Very good team, well coached.
You just kind of touched on that. I think you guys led by 1 point at the under 4 timeout. They ended with kind of 11-0 run before you score at the end. What did you see in those final minutes? Was it something they did defensively that made it difficult, or was it execution on your part?
Well, they make it difficult in every single possession you have in the half court. They really do. They really are locked in. You got 5 guys playing as one. That's what they do. I thought, we had our looks. I thought we had a couple looks. We just didn't knock them down in that last 4-minute segment. But part of that is just the wear and tear and the pressure they put on you for 36 minutes prior to that that's wearing you down. I thought we kind of were doing the same thing to them a little. I thought they went to the line, missed some free throws they would normally make. I think that comes down to just the level of intensity of the game, you wearing down a little bit, fatigue maybe coming down the stretch. Because we had some, I thought several good looks I thought were kind of open for us. And in a game like that, those shots have got to go down because you're not playing a team that you can recover from if you don't, make them pay for the very few mistakes they make defensively. You have to cash them in.
Would you characterize those final few moments as them imposing their will on your team?
I would say imposing their will on our team if we didn't have some open looks. But we had some open looks at that point in time. I just think, we have to be able to knock those shots down in order to win a game like that. We had several looks. We ran some things. I thought they were pretty good to get some wide open shots or open shots. In a game like this, you have to make them pay in those situations. And so I wouldn't say imposing their will as much as we have got to, in those moments, you make the play that's available for us. And we have to make it, under some duress, like I said, under some duress, because the entire game was played at such a high level.
In a close game like this, when you hear the stat 1-for-19 from 3-point range, just what are your thoughts on that?
What was the question again?
In a close game like this, when you see the stat 1-for-19 from 3-point range, just what are your thoughts on that stat?
Not good enough to win a game like this. You go 1-for-19 from behind the arc, and we'll grade the game, of course, tonight. But I thought we had a number of good looks, and against them, they're hard to come by. So when you have them, as I mentioned before, you have to knock them down, because if you don't, you let them off the hook in those situations, and that defense just continues to get it more and more intense. So, we had opportunities to knock some down that we didn't by some of our best shooters. So that's just unfortunate. It's basketball. Sometimes it's going to fall for you, sometimes it's not. And they just didn't fall for us when we were able to manage to finally get some good looks. You have to make them pay.
You guys had some shots that didn't fall, but the uglier stat that appears is 22 turnovers on the night. And what was going on through your guys? I know they were running a trap defense early, trapping a guy, but what was going on with those 22 turnovers?
We have to take care of the ball better. That's been something that we've had to do better all season long. And I thought it bit us tonight. 22 turnovers, 14 turnovers in the first half. Now, that's what they do. They turn you on over average of 18-plus turnovers a game. They scored 24 points a game off your turnovers, which is probably one of the highest, turnover ratios, points off turnovers in the nation. And so today they scored 22, so right around what they averaged. And so we have to be better. We emphasized that prior to the game, not, tearing the ball over, making sure we take care of the basketball, because that's a big part of their offense, is turning you over and scoring real fast. And we didn't do it as well, especially in the first half. I thought we didn't do it as well. I thought we were better in the second half.
Would you say a lot of those turnovers was because of their high-intensity defense, or do you think a good amount of them were also lazy passes on your guys' side?
I think it was more or less what their defense was forcing. I thought they did a good job of getting into us. They did a good job of rotating quickly. They're probably one of the best teams I've seen at how fast they rotate. Like, we take a lot of pride in what we do defensively. So when I see a team like that, I have a great deal of respect for it because I know how hard you have to coach and teach that side of the basketball. Everybody can teach the offensive side. The defensive side is harder to teach from the standpoint of getting your players to play it the way that I'm sure they want their guys playing it and the way we want our guys playing it. So when I see them move the way they moved, it tells me a lot about, what they emphasize every day.
Coach,
go ahead.
Coach, it was a slow start for Darius Johnson there in the first half. Didn't play particularly well, but he was a bright spot in that second half. Really helped provide that spark to get you guys kind of getting back on that run. What did you see from him in that second half to really help ignite the team?
I thought he settled down. I thought they did a good job in the first half. They identified, you could tell they identified him and Jalen as guys they had emphasized and wanting to really slow down. And, of course, they should. We did the same thing with some of their main players. And so I thought he settled down in the second half and was more or less taking kind of what the just defense gave him. Because, anytime you're in a situation where they're bringing two to the ball a lot when he had the ball, trying to get it out of his hands, they were trying to deny it back to him at times so that he couldn't touch it. A lot of similar things that we do defensively. So I thought that kind of disrupted him, got him out of rhythm a little in the first half, but he calmed down in the second half and started playing the way he's capable.
Johnny, what can you guys take from this game with the defensive side of things when you're going forward against a Houston team that's very high-octane defense as well?
Well, the one thing we do know is they're going to be very similar defensively. They both are two outstanding defensive teams. So we know that, coming into the game that we're going to have to be better than we were tonight offensively from the standpoint of taking care of the basketball. And we have to be better, of course, more efficient offensively when we have in our looks and knocking them down. And that just comes with basketball. Some days you will, some nights you won't. Hopefully when we get those looks, we'll be better prepared for them. But we got to make sure we take care of the basketball.
Piggybacking off of that last question, you guys were staying in the game seemingly all night long. What does that say about your team and the growth that they have shown this year?
Well, in talking to my team, I wanted them to know that we were right there. 36 minutes, we played toe-to-toe with them, and they're a terrific basketball team. So I didn't want our guys to leave the locker room not knowing that they had done some good things. We just, like I told them, they just made more plays than us coming down the stretch, and we have to be better at making plays and or stopping the other team from making those plays coming down the stretch in that game.
Well, you guys made the comeback, and you guys missed a lot of wide-open threes. The comeback was really built off of attacking the paint and forcing your will in the paint. When your guys started going back to shooting the three ball a little bit more and falling behind, is that something that you guys work on? That you want to get them back focused on attacking, or do you want them to take the open three?
No, they always going to be aggressive and looking to attack. Sometimes when you attack the paint and you suck everybody in, you throw the ball out, there's no place else to go because the paint is already back sucked in by their other team. So when you throw out there, the only thing you have is the shot because if you come back in there, everybody's in the paint anyway. So we did a number of times where we drove the ball in there. We sucked their defense in like we wanted to do. They had 4 or 5 guys in the lane. We kick out. If another guy just gets and starts driving, where can he go? The lane is already filled with people.
Just looking ahead to your last couple or few regular season games and then the Big 12 tournament, how good does it make you feel that you do have the opportunity to still get some Quadrant 1 wins and hopefully make the NCAA tournament?
Well, for us, we still believe. We have to go out there and take it one game at a time. We still believe we can still make postseason, but we have to continue to get better as we come down the stretch. We're playing some great teams. That's what March is for. We're in March. It's March Madness. All your dreams could come true. You're never really out of it, come March. If you believe, you keep working together, and you start playing your best basketball when it counts the most, which is right now.
Coach, we're talking a lot about what went wrong tonight. What did you see out there that went right for you guys?
I thought we defended really, really well for 36 minutes. I thought, at that point, probably around the 4-minute mark, 3.5-minute mark, both teams are right around 50. So I thought we did a really good job defending them as well. So it went both ways. And so I really was proud of the way we defended. I thought we rebounded well. They're a very physical team. Like I said, that's one of the things, too, the film doesn't do justice on, just how physical they are at all positions. And I thought our guys did a good job of handling the physicality. So there were things we did well, and those are 2 of them.
DeMar mentioned, and you spoke on it, that you prepared for them and you knew what they were going to throw at you, but it's different once they start playing. What can you do differently in preparing for a team, especially Houston? You look at film, you've got a game plan going, but when it's actually the game, it's a different feeling for them.
No, absolutely. What you want to see happen is we have to play with more poise and composure, something I've talked about a lot this year. You have to be able to do that against teams at that level. These are, two of the leading teams in our conference, two of the top 10 teams in the nation. I think Houston's now number 1. So, to play in those games and be successful in those games, you've got to play with composure. You have to take care of the basketball. You have to defend it at a high level. If you can do those two things, take care of the basketball, defend at a high level, you will have an opportunity to win. And tonight we had an opportunity. We did those two things. We didn't take care of it well, but we did defend at a high level, which gave us a chance to be in the ballgame.
To follow up on that, Houston is ranked number 1. And not only are they your next opponent, they're also your final home game. Just how important is that game overall to you guys?
It's very important. I mean, it's our next game, so we always look at the next team that we're playing as our most important opponent, no matter who they are. It happens to be Houston, coming up. And it's senior night. So for our guys that have been with me, albeit some of these guys just 1 year, because we have so many new guys now with turnover, it's their last time, on this floor. And so with that, you want to make sure our guys are prepared properly and we come out and play with a winning effort.
You mentioned before that your team did a lot of good things, but also, again, the shooting from the three-point line and the turnovers. But you guys stayed competitive. You guys stayed in it until the very end. Do you find it more on the personal side, but do you find it frustrating when your team fights so hard just to lose it at the end?
No, absolutely. I think we all are disappointed. I would say disappointed. If we did a lot of things wrong, that I could pinpoint that's unacceptable with our standards. But we have certain standards about our effort, our energy first and foremost. I thought guys maxed out when they were on the floor. They played as hard as they could play. That's the main thing you want as a coach to see. I thought the energy was great. And then, we didn't make shots. I mean, they go 5 for 21 from 3. We go 1 for 19 from 3. We did a good job of defending the 3 for them, but we didn't shoot it as well. And that's something that we've gone in and out of all season, to be quite frank. We've had nights where we've, knocked it down. We've had nights where it just didn't go for us as well. We haven't been as consistent from behind the arc as probably some of the teams we've had in the past. We've had more shooters on those teams than we've had this year. And but these guys have shown they're capable. We just have to, push the right buttons and put them in the right place, and they can knock them down.
You had the opportunity to spend some time with Kirk Sparrow on the 93-94 team. What's something that Coach maybe shared with you in your conversations with him?
He was very complimentary of what we're doing, the job we're doing, of our team. I just talked to him right after the radio show before coming in here. That's what held me up. And he was just talking about how close we were, how close we are from the standpoint of the teams he had here earlier when he was here and how they, got over the hump. And kind of, where we are, in that same type of position where you're changing conferences, you're leveling up, and, you're learning how to win at this level now. And that's what our guys are doing, learning how to win at this level. And, and he talked about just how coming down the stretch, the only difference was kind of what we just said, was they made the plays coming down the stretch, and we had opportunities to make some of those plays coming down the stretch.
What does history mean to you at this program?
It means a great deal to me. I'm big on coaches and former players that have come before us, because I always understand Coach Spiroff, or whether it's myself, or whether it was Donnie, any of us that you've seen coach the program here or any program, we're just stewards. We're not, graduates from UCF. Our times, we come and we go. But the players that have played here, this is their, all the time, their legacy, their history, because they're the ones who's bleeding and sweating on this court. They're the ones who's going through every practice, sacrificing, making the commitments that are necessary to provide a great product for our community, to be successful for our university, and to represent us in the right way. And so for me, I know there'll be another coach here besides me. But the players that come, they'll be here forever. They'll be here forever because this is theirs. And so it's mine. I'm the steward of it. But there'll be another steward at some point in time. But as far as the players, this is always theirs. And I always want them to feel that. So all the teams from the past, teams now, they always know they're welcome here, because I always have them understand that they have ownership in what we do here. Whether you played 50 years ago, 30 years ago, you played last year. This will always be their program. And what I want to make sure is, while I'm representing us, is that we make them proud by how we carry ourselves and how hard we compete and win.
All right, that's all for tonight. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.